Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to DBF2 Season 2 Rounds 7 and 8. We are at Silverstone in the United Kingdom for Round 7 and Austria at the Red Bull Ring for Round 8. We're currently in short qualifying with a bit of a twist. We have got the top 5 must start on the compound they qualify quickest on, so we're going to have a quick look at the tyres. If I can get it going. So we've got Surangos on the medium tyres, and ERT Jordan, so they either think that they can get in the top 5 and want to start in the mediums, or they just want to have free choice as to what tyre compound they want to start on. But currently we've got D-Dash, who's in the pits at the moment, on pole with a 1:26.486. With Surangos in second, just about half a second off, who's only done 2 races before the season, and sits on 30 points. So it'll be good to see what he can do if he can start in front row where he currently is at the moment. We've currently got Jordan, who seems to be out in a while. Let's get his point check. Yep, battery's pretty high, so we'll see what Jordan can do. He's kind of a 10th and a half up, which would only put him up to in 10th at the moment. He'd overtake Chris Johnson, so we'll see. We'll stick with Jordan for this lap, although we do have, I think, about 8 minutes to go off the session, so a lot of pace to be on it. Bearing in mind he is on the medium over fire, so we'll stick with Jordan, see what he can do. Saving a lot of battery, a lot of half spin there, saved a lot of battery throughout this lap. Yeah, he's half a second down on his best time, so I don't think we're going to see much from Jordan here. We'll jump on with Abu Bakr. He's currently not on a lap. Jump on Jack Craig, who's cutting grass in his Red Bull. Gamer James is on a lap. He's almost 7/10 up as he heads to finish out Sector 2. He goes through Margaret and Beckett. See what his Sector 2 time is. One second up, so that would currently put him P6, who would take Jack Craig's position. He hasn't saved a lot of battery for this final sector. A little quickly on the power there, maybe not a lot of wings on the back of that car as he goes up to P5. Good lap from James. Anyone else on a lap? Tyres coming into the pits. Chris Johnson looked like he's on a lap, just half 10th up on his best time. I'll put him up to P8 if he can go a bit quicker than this. I've been told that my mic volume is low. I'll walk it up a bit, see if that's any better. Chris Johnson comes round turn 18, see what he can do. Improves up to P4. Good lap from Chris Johnson. But with the new rule, that'll see Chris Johnson having to start on the soft tyres if this is his final position. The only person who would probably be on the best tyre to start the race is Surangos in P2, who's on the mediums. ERT Jordan obviously not finding much pace on those mediums, although he has done 4 laps on them there. Anyone else on a lap? D-Dash is on he's half a 10th up, just coming out of Sector 1. Or halfway through Sector 1, sorry. We'll stick on with D-Dash for the rest of his lap, but 5 minutes to go, I think we'll do a run through of the championship standings. So in first place we have Jacko with 83 points. I'm not sure if he's here at the moment. He's in third at the moment. Second we've got Acorn with 82, so only 1 point difference heading into round 7. At the top of the championship, we've got Abu Bakr in third, he's on 77 points. 8 points behind him is Daniel Kulilnat on 69 in fourth place. We've got Chris W on 51 points in fifth. Calm Rules 49 in sixth. Didash, who we're currently on board with, is seventh at 48, only 1 point between that two. And a further 1 point back is Chris Johnson in 8th place, so 47. 30, 9th to 45, who's only a reserve at the moment. And ERT Jordan with 41 in 10th place. The rest did not fit onto my data sheet, so yeah, they don't matter. As Didash has done an Ollie Behrman by the looks of it, heading into the pit lane. I doubt he'll get a good drop for that. ERT Jordan's also just doing some reconnaissance laps because he's not going particularly quick. But we'll see what he can do. As my laptop has decided to have a stroke. There we go. So we've got 18 laps around, 35% race, 18 laps around Silverstone tonight. We've got in the DBF1 Season 7, this is obviously DBF2, we had Casper was on pole with a 1:27.537, which has already been absolutely smashed out of the park by D-Dash, who's on 26 flat almost. And Jenga won last season. I don't think Jenga's in this because he's too quick, so yeah, Jenga win, pretty sure I came third. Didn't have the best season in Season 7 myself. But yeah, see what Chris can do. Anyway, we're going out for some final laps. Jack Craig's just started the lap, so we'll stick on board with Jack Craig and his Red Bull for this last probably run he's going to do, and he's already invalidated, so Jack's obviously scared of the camera. But Kaya, Dark Shadow is on a lap, he's 8/10 down on his best time. We'll see what Fergus Pup's doing, obviously not on a lap, but he's flying kite. ERT Jordan's doing ERT things. Scottish Gold looking a bit quick on the brakes there, a bit too heavy as he starts his lap. As he heads into the first DRS zone of the lap. We'll stick on board Scottish Goat. Do have a Scotsman on the screen as he sits a purple sector 1. I don't know if that's best overall or just his best lap. We'll have a look because you don't think he's set a time yet. So Scottish Goat pretty quick from my memory around here, so we'll see what he can do. As he heads through Malmesberg, it's not left a lot in the battery for this long straight. He gets the foot down, DRS open, battery on. He's running pretty low on that battery. He's probably going to win this lap, wishing he saved some more. He comes out of turn 15, heads down to 16, 17 and 18 to close his lap. Let's see what Scottish Goat can do. P4 for Scottish Goat, so at the moment he will be starting on the softs. As I've been told yet again that my mic is too quiet, so we just got to walk up even higher. Hopefully that's good for him. Or is my game volume too high? Turn that down a bit. If that works. Scotch Goat getting out of people's way. Let's find someone on a lap. ERT Jordan's 2 tenths down. Jack Craig is 3 seconds down. Looks like Calm Rails is getting a bit of a tow from his teammate. A bit of teamwork going on here. He heads round turn 15. saved quite a bit more battery than most coming around the final corner of his lap. Where's that going to put him? The toe helped his time, but I don't think it helped his position as he finishes for the session. Who else have we got coming around the corner? No, he's done. And Mercedes, Gamer James, what can he do? As he goes off at the final corner, an Aston Martin deck who goes up in P4, 7/10 up on his best time. Anyone else coming around the corner? D-Dash, we've got a Williams first. Chris Johnson, he's done. D-Dash is 10th.5 up on his time. Let's find this Haas. Jocko, can he improve his position on the grid? As he comes around turn 18 to cross the line. Where is it going to put a bit of a spin there from Jocko, but luckily didn't affect his lap time too much as he goes 2.5 tenths quicker up into P2, starting on the front row, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, Ferguson. That is it. This is your grid. So the top 5 starting on the tyres that qualified quickest on. So Surango's great positioning considering the tyres he was on. ERT Jordan on the same tyre compound, but obviously looks like he was just doing a bit of race practice there, race simulations in qualifying. Obviously wasn't too bothered about his position. Because I know Jordan, there's no way he'd be 3 seconds off the pace. But yeah, so we're going to have D-Dash, Jocko will have to start on the soft tyres. Surango's the only one in the top 5 starting on the mediums, which is going to put him in a great position for the end of the race. As long as he can keep up with the front leaders in the starting stint, and then he's just going to shoot off into the distance on his nice fresh boots of the soft tyres. Yeah, that's D-Dash, pole position in his V-carb. So, rundown of the order, we've got D-Dash on pole by quite a margin. Got Jocko in P2, Surango's in 3rd position, Acorn 4th, Scottish Goat 5th, great quality for him, Chris Johnson 6th, Abu Bakar in 7th, Gamer James in 8th, Calm Rules in 9th, Jack Craig in 10th, Dark Shadow 11th, Fergus Pup in 12th, and ERT Jordan, probably a quality session to forget for him, in the 13th position at the back of the grid. So, yeah, well, I'm sure the drivers will get their pre-race oranges, and we bought Lucozade down to them, get the electrolytes in, and yeah, we're going to wait for the lights to go off at the British Grand Prix. Looks like Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc are making an appearance. Their names are on their pit boxes. Hopefully not, or they'll get ready to see some people get spanked on F1 25. So we've got Abu Bakar. I can't mind what position he's starting. It was only 5 seconds ago. Can't remember. He's currently got 2 wins in the season so far. But he's only 3rd in the championship. We've got Deck. He's got 2 P3s and 4 top 5s. So Deck's currently 5 points ahead of him in the championship. So it's a consistency from Deck. Abu Bakar hoping to gain a bit on that advantage. We've got Jocko, who's got a win, 2 podiums. He leads, obviously, the championship just by 1 point, only 6 back to Abu Bakar, so pretty tight at the front. And Daniel Puilnat, he's 1 win on a P3, I believe, from the data that I've found. But I don't think Daniel's racing tonight. Yeah. Obviously, Jocko and Abu Bakar in the top 1st and 3rd in this championship. That puts Haas quite a margin away from Ferrari in the championship, 52 points ahead on 160 to Ferrari's 108. So yeah, not looking too close at the front of the championships, constructor standing, sorry. Looking a bit closer further back, we've got Aston Martin on 84 in 3rd place, and Sauber on 79 in 4th. Pretty close between them guys. Only 5 points between them. Yeah, Alpine scoring zip nada in the season so far. Not sure if anyone's driving for them. But yeah, gonna want to get some points on the board. Mercedes and Red Bull having an absolute mare. 7th for Red Bull and 9th for Mercedes, not where they want to be. A lot of Meckies and Total Wolf. Obviously need to get their drivers in check. Yeah, just waiting for the to get down to the grid. Hopefully not too long. I think it's a 2-minute interval between quali and the race. So yeah, just have to wait for that. We've got Jake W has joined. I'm not sure. Maybe a late joiner, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid, or not starting at all. Obviously not completing qualifying. So he'll be here, I would imagine, for Austria. Round 2, or round 8, but round 2 of the night. Here we go. 5 red lights at the British Grand Prix, and we are underway. Didash not looking like he got a particularly good start, but Surangos looked like he got a pretty good start, but Didash maintains his lead into turn 1. Jocko sticks in 3rd. Bit of position movement down the back, but will stick on the front for just now. Surangos trying to maintain that gap. Gonna have to try to stick with these guys. Obviously, he's starting on the mediums tyre, so. Oh no, he's not. He started on the softs. That might be taken up in the steward's room. Acorn, unsure where he started. Acorn lost the position, and Jocko looked like he had a loss of power there. He's dropped 3 positions. He was up in 2nd place, but Scottish Goat having a great start, up 2 positions. Calm Rules also gaining on Gamer James. Dark Shadow on Jack Craig, and ERT Jordan. Obviously, he'll have he's running the medium tyre, which he started did in qualifying. So unsure of what ERT are putting his way in terms of strategies. D-Dash goes a bit deep in turn 15 there. We've got Fergus seems to be lagging behind a bit, so I'm unsure of any incidents that have happened there. Didn't see it on the stream. Surangos hoping to chase down D-Dash, as obviously using the battery quite a bit there. His battery looking pretty low on the dash of that steering wheel, as we've seen D-Dash heading into turn 3. Any action further down in the midfield? Jocko hoping, obviously Haas engineers have got his power back, and he's looking perfectly fine now. Teammate Abu Bakar behind, so Haas not a great start for them, as Acorns set a fastest sector 1, but we've got a potential move, Hamilton Marks move, but Didash obviously using a bit more battery than Surangos. Surangos has a bit of a moment there coming out of turn 9. There's your tyre strategies on the screen, powered by Amazon. Don't think any of the drivers have gone for those options, but I'm sure we'll see as we head around to finish lap 2 of the race. A lot more action hopefully to go. Jocko having almost a bit of a moment there almost, as he chases down Deck. Deck very consistent, doesn't make too many mistakes. Jocko goes a bit deep there in turn 16. Surangos sets the fast lap of the race. Here's our strategies back. Pretty similar, softs to mediums, soft to hards, lap 8, 12-ish, whatever you tickles your fancy, depends how good you're at saving. We've got ERT Jordan making moves. This Dark Shadow goes round the outside of the track on ERT Jordan. Jordan goes back down the inside. Can we get a good view from Jack Craig? The bang wheels for Kaya. Kaya goes on the grass. Jack Craig around the outside and gets the move off. Brilliant from Jack Craig there. Kaya looks down to go down the inside. Jack Craig sees him coming. Doesn't make much of it as they touch wheels a little bit. Nothing wrong. A little bit of contact as Fergus Pap goes down the inside of Kaya. Kaya obviously don't think he saw that one coming. We'll go back up to the front and see what Sarongos can do against D-Dash as they head into the DRS straight. See if Jacko's got the DRS on Acorn. Acorn falling out of the DRS as he overtakes him into turn 15. Acorn won't be happy with that. Acorn looks like he's potentially having a bit of a moment as Abu Bakr is going to go round the outside, down into the inside of turn 17 as they contact! He hits Acorn off the track and Chris Johnson not close enough to make any moves on that incident. No through goes Hamilton here. As Sarongos is actually overtaken D-Dash and never caught that when we were watching the contact between the Haas and the Aston. The only Aston running at the moment. D-Dash as he drops back pretty quickly. Does he get he's got DRS. The Scottish Goat looking pretty close to catching up as well. D-Dash on the battery saving goes a little bit deep. Scottish Goat getting a good line through there. He looks to go around the outside but not enough momentum in his Ferrari. But the Kick Sabre leads the race now and change for the lead on lap 4. The Scottish Goat having to take a little lift off there, maybe not running very high wings on his Ferrari. But D-Dash looking like he's getting a lot closer to Sarongos. Potentially more downforce on that car. Can he make any inroads on Sarongos? As he actually, Sarongos pulls away almost until he started charging the battery back up. So maybe as D-Dash is in. D-Dash is in, so maybe the hard tyres. Yeah, he's on the softs. As he gets nice and stopped for that, for the pit entry. Doesn't get a penalty, doesn't do a me. But yeah, that's quite early, I would say, to come in on the soft tyres. Potentially going for the hards, going long. As we'll get the tyres off the screen. As Jacko passes Scottish Goat. But now a bit of a lead now for Sarongos. Doesn't have to panic too much about the cars behind. He's got almost a 2-second lead. As Abu Bakr closing in on Scottish Goat. Scottish Goat on the recharge. That's going to give him less power down the straight as Abu Bakr goes down the inside on the Ferrari to take the position, the podium position. The Scottish Goat not going to give up. Abu Bakr on the recharge. Has significantly less battery power than the Ferrari, so that might help the Ferrari down at the straight heading to the end of the lap. Bit of spread now. We've got Fergus Pap is less than 2/10 now on Kaya, Dark Shadow in front, so we'll see if they can make any moves. Gets on the grass a bit, that's going to compromise him on the exit. Dirty tyres and all. So he's looking a bit too far back to make a move, but this is the closest battle we've got on track at the moment, so we'll stick on board, see what he can do. No, we don't, because Ace Scottish Goat's in. So maybe this is just the strategy, maybe there is just the soft tyres just can't do it. We currently have a Haas 1-2, so where's Scottish Goat going to come out? Compared to Sarongos is in as well, I think. Yeah, Sarongos and Scottish Goat in. Where do they come out compared to D-Dash? D-Dash, yeah, no, they've not come out yet. It looked like he was 21 seconds behind. D-Dash has passed Scottish Goat and he's gone back past Sarongos, so that overcut is significantly better. So staying out that extra couple of laps for Sarongos is costing him not too much. Obviously he's still in that DRS range of D-Dash, but hopefully he can catch up. We've got Gamer James and Jack Craig going for it. Mercedes, as Dark Shadow's going down the inside of Gamer James, and he's got the position. Can Gamer James hang on? Is this going to be a Hamilton Max manoeuvre? Kaya pushes him on the grass, contact there, and they died. Kaya's off in the gravel, in the wall. That's a retirement. This is Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, 2021. We've got a safety car, so Didash Sarangos and Scottish go a ball pit. This is gonna really hurt their race. We'll get down to the leader, so I'm not too sure. I don't know how long the pit stop is around here. It's been a while since I've played this game, but that's put Jacko and Abu Bakr and the Haas's in great positioning. But maybe Deck can get through on Abu Bakr as they've got a bit of a gap. Abu Bakr slowing down a bit there. Not sure if that'll be allowed. Acorn didn't have to really slow down, so it didn't really affect him, but just so the two cars weren't too close in the pit stops, so it doesn't hurt them. I think it still will, obviously, because Jacko looked like he had a bit of a moment in the pit lane there that he didn't want to go. As we've got a couple penalties for Gamer James and Fergus, so his contact under the safety car is going to hurt them. But where's Didash going to come out compared to Jacko? He's miles behind. He's into second. He's ahead of Abu Bakr coming out the pits, but this has really hurt Sarangos and Didash's races. So hopefully, for their sakes, they've got the better power against the Haas. As Deck, the only car to be in the 29s at the moment, 29.815. Deck looking fast. But yeah, this has really hurt Didash's and Sarangos' race. Scottish Goat really affected by that safety car, only down in P8. Scottish Goat was third when Didash came in. Gamer James has served his 10-second penalty. Obviously, unsure if Fergus Pup did come in, but it didn't put his. He didn't have to serve his penalty, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But we'll stick on with Jacko in front of that safety car. See if we can see when it's going to come in. I don't think it will, because Gamer James is so far behind, so I think we'll be out for another lap yet. I don't think Gamer James will have been too happy with that incident that brought the safety car out. It was Dark Shadow going down the inside, hit him. Almost the reverse of the Hamilton Max incident. There's Kaya in the Hamilton position. He was the one to go into the wall, so Gamer James lucky to avoid that one. Yeah, just waiting for this safety car to come in. We'll have a look at the tyres though. So everyone opting for the hard tyre. Obviously 3 of our drivers were already on the hard tyre. Scottish Goat and Acorn opting for the mediums. With 10 laps to go, we'll see if they can drag them to the finish. Jacko getting a bit close to Bernd Mylander there. Don't think he'll be too happy. As Fergus and Jack Craig swap positions on the safety car. I think Fergus Pup must have overtaken Jack in the safety car. As they get some temperature into those tyres, have a little reset of the race. Hopefully this will bring some more action for the viewers. Be a race to forget for Kaya. He'll be wishing he backed out of that move as he went head first into Barrier. But the safety car should be in this lap, hopefully, as Gamer James has got up to the back of the pack, so we will see if the green lights come on the back of that nice Mercedes, as it is in safety car in this lap. coming through from the race control. So Jacko now setting the pace of the pack. Obviously he can't go until, well, he can't overtake until they've passed the start finish line, but if Jacko goes now he cannot stop, he cannot slow down, he has to maintain the speed. So we will just watch on board with Didash, the car behind, and see how late Jacko's going to leave it. I would imagine he'll probably leave it to turn 18, the last corner, or the exit of turn 17. That's probably where I would go. You don't want to back them up too much, but he's gone already. If he's not even in at turn 16, and he's caught Didash sleeping. Didash is having a snooze in P2s. Where's Sorongo? Sorongo's right in the background. Didash is at a half spin. But they can't overtake because they've not passed the start-finish line. So that's put Sorongo's in an awful position. He's getting swamped by everyone. He's dropped down from 3rd to 6th on that safety car restart. A little half spin from Didash has ruined his restart. As Fergus Pap, I don't know what he's doing on the track map, but yeah, doing his own thing. As Didash ghosting there, Abu Bakar taking advantage of that, as Jacko has got a 3-second lead from his teammate as Sorongos gets through on the Williams. It's chaos here after that safety car restart, as Didash gets pushed in the gravel, as Sorongos has to take avoiding action half onto the grass there, as Chris Johnson's getting swamped by Calm Rules as he goes off. There'll be 2 warnings for Calm Rules and Chris Johnson. Didash on the battery saving, hoping to make some moves back on Sorongos as they almost make contact coming out of Magnus and Beckett's. Didash 2.5 seconds back on Sorongos. Can't he make any inroads? No DRS for 1 lap, so no assistance from the drag reduction system. As Sorongos has got a 3-second time penalty for going wide on the exit turn 15. So that's going to affect his race result unless he can increase the gap behind by 3 seconds, but can't see that happening because he seems to be very similarly paced to the likes of Didash. And well, Jacko's gone, he's 2.8, he's just disappeared in the distance. Acorn really making some moves, he's up to 3rd. But Haas will be delighted with how this restart's gone. Didash's little spin, they'll be sending him some free parts for his CNC machine, I would imagine, with their 1-2 finish if Abu Bakar can't maintain this position. As ERT Jordan's through on Scottish Goat, as Calm Rules is back behind Chris Johnson, missed that move. There's just too much going on, but we'll see, can Scottish Goat get back past ERT Jordan, as Abu Bakar has been overtaken by Acorn. That was probably what looked like could have been a wonderful move, but unfortunately we've missed it. But we'll see what's happening. We've got a yellow flag, Fergus Pap's retired on track, that'll be a penalty. So can Abu Bakar get back past Acorn? Similar battery power, but no, even with the DRS assistance he cannot get back past, but he's got a much better exit of turn 15 than Deck has. But Deck managing to maintain that position. A bit of grass on the wheels for Abu Bakar. That's too long of a name, we're going to have to shorten that one. As Sorongos with a 3-second time penalty hunting down Abu Bakar. 3/10 the car behind us. Didash looking to go down the inside of Sorongos. Can he make the move stick, as he now has turned from the inside to the outside, falls in behind, but he's going to have that DRS assistance. Sorongos getting a bit of a gap to the car behind, but obviously he still has the DRS and the battery power, so maintains his position. This is currently our closest battle on track, so stick with it, as this is the battle for the top 2, the bottom 2 positions of the podium. Slowly, Acorn is slowly catching Jacko, but I think that gap is too big to catch as Sorongos goes off again, so that'll be another warning for him. I would imagine that potentially would have been a warning for Didash. The Scottish Goat, Chris Johnson, sorry, is looking pretty close to Scottish Goat. Well, yeah, it's a bit too far back for Bakar. Scottish Goat, a bit too far back on ERT Jordan as well. But Abu Bakar on Acorn. As he swaps from the outside to the inside, a bit late on the brakes. I don't think that will go down nicely in the Aston Martin garage, as we were almost 3 wide as Deck almost pushes Bakar off. Sarongos is going to take advantage of this and go down the inside in turn 1 on the Deck. Great move from Sarongos. Unlucky for Deck with the battle, but we're almost 3 wide into turn 3. Didash giving front row tickets to this battle, but can Deck vitalise on Sarongos? Can he get his position back? No, he's far too far back, as he gets a punt in the back from Bakar, and a bit of wheel banging going on here as Deck just cannot turn. They're locked wheels, so they're dropping down. They've dropped right down at the back as Bakar's round. Absolute scenes in the DB. Deck will not be happy with that one, but we caught it on stream Deck, so we've got the CCTV footage. But Deck now going to have to recover. It was looking good for a podium for Deck. That would have been his 3rd of the season, so unlucky for him. His consistency, top 5 all season for Deck, but if he can bring it back to a top 5 now, he's going to be doing really good. But he gets back past Jack Craig, so he's up into P8 already, making the positions back. Didash 6.5 tenths back from Sarongos. Obviously Sarongos has that penalty, so it looks like he'd currently be dropping to, as Abu Bakar has retired on track, which has brought out a safety car. He's not quite in the pit lane, and I'm unsure whether he's had a spin coming out of turn 15, which is potential. I've done it myself before. Max Verstappen, 4-time world champion's done it before. So yeah, this is going to really stump Jacko's progress. He'll be gutted that his teammate has potentially cost him a race victory around Silverstone. So yeah, I'm sure the stewards will potentially look into that one. But yeah, we're going to have a safety car. We'll see if anyone pits, actually. Who's looking good for tyres. Scottish Goat potentially could have a good start compared to the rest to be able to get his tyres up to temperature a bit more, but we'll see if anyone fancies coming in for the soft tyre compound, if they've got any left after qualifying. But yeah, this has really stumped Jacko's lead. Obviously Sarongos won't be happy either. That 3-second time penalty is going to really hurt him, so obviously the cars are backed up even more, so he's going to lose even more positions potentially, unless he can gain an advantage, 3-second advantage to anyone behind. Yeah, Abu Bakar retiring either on track or having a spin at the back of the field through no fault of his own really. As Jacko fakes Sarongos into the pit lane. I think Sarongos was pitting anyway, but Didash has come in. Anyone else coming in? ERT Jordan's stayed out. Scottish Goat's in. Chris Johnson's in. Cam Rule's in. Acorn's in. Jack Craig's in, and Gamer James. So only 2 staying out. Jacko and ERT Jordan. So ERT Jordan making big gains. He started at the back of the grid. ERT Jordan's made 11 positions up. Yes, I did have to get the graphic up to do that maths. But yeah, this is going to put real risk into the 2 at the front's race, because they'll be on old hards. Jacko on the hards, yes he is. 2 on at the front on the old hards, whereas Sarongos and the rest of the grid are going to be on brand spanker softs. Well, most of them, I doubt any of them will be on old ones. Dash is not looking too shiny compared to Sarongos. Potentially some used ones for him. Unsure as to whether the tyre, no, it doesn't say they've done laps, but some people's not looking as shiny as others, so I'm not sure. But yeah, Sarongos is going to be in a great position, Didash in an even better one, but we'll see what Scottish Gold can do. You know, these three are most likely going to be our podium finishers, as Jacko and Jordan are both on old hards, as Didash is actually on the medium tyre, so potentially why his don't look particularly shiny. So Scottish Goat has an opportunity to win this race. You know, he's going to be on better tyres compared to the car in front. Sorongo's without penalty. He'll be gutted if that penalty costs him a win. But if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. That's what happens when you cheat and cross the line. Jack Craig opting for the mediums. But yeah, Jack Craig and Didash, only two cars in the medium tyre. But yeah, safety cars, Jordan's in. Jordan opting to change that tyre, doesn't want to be on the hard tyre, the old ones. Jacko now going to be the only car on track to be on the old tyre. So we'll have to sit and watch Jordan potentially giving up more positions than he'll gain. As Red Bull do a fantastic job of getting that tyres on the car. Not that they need to rush particularly much, as the safety car is still out, obviously. But yeah, we'll see what happens after the safety car comes in. As the safety car is coming in this lap, so that penalty, Jack Craig's actually got 2 track limit penalties, he's got a 6-second time penalty. But we'll stick on board with the dash again to watch, see how late Jacko's going to leave it this time. Sorongo's making sure that Jacko knows he's there in his mirrors. Sorongo's not wasting any time. As long as he doesn't overtake, he should be all good. But we'll actually stick on with Sorongo's and watch to see how long Jacko waits. I would imagine he might wait a little bit longer this time. Sorongo's probably doesn't need to be alongside because he can't pass him until they cross the line, so just putting a bit of intimidation into the Haas driver so he knows he's there. As Jacko has gone, Sorongo's, he's spun! He's half spun! So I don't know if that'll be a potential penalty for Sorongo's. I would imagine it would get removed. But yeah, Chris Johnson really, he's backed out, he's overtaken someone for the line. Not good for Chris Johnson, but Jacko back through on Didash. I'm not sure if Didash passed it. Yeah, I would imagine Sorongo's would get that time penalty removed. Because as I said, Didash has actually hit Jacko going into turn 4. So Sorongo's might win this race now. Because his penalty, 3-second time penalty, that gap has now been built. And not even 1 lap after the safety car, we've just finished sector 1. But Scottish Goat looking to get some move on Jacko. And he does hold him, Jacko cannot hold him off as the Scotsman gets through. Chris Johnson looking close to Acorn. Acorn wanting to get that top 5 result for his consistency sheet. As Calm Rules goes off, that'll be a warning, I would imagine. But we'll jump on board with Jacko as Jack Craig's passed by Gamer James. As Calm Rules does get a penalty now. Race to forget for the Red Bulls, potentially an overtake there, but it's too far back to care. But Didash is going to go round the outside at 15 on Jocko. Can he make the move stick? He can. They've banning wheels as Jordan gets through on his teammate as Jocko goes for a really late move in the 16, sorry, as DRS is enabled. As Jocko has another half spin, not cold tyres, not doing any good for him as Cam Wheels hits the back, which has stumped him, and Chris Johnson's going to get through. Acorn's up to 4th. Acorn was 8th in this race at one point. Cam Wheels cannot get back past, but Jocko gets past Acorn. They're fine. Let's stick on board with Chris Johnson. See this as they've made contact. Deck's off. There's a front wing from the Haas. Cam Wheels going to have a great run in 6 on deck as Jordan's retired from the race, potentially contact, or he's just given up. Deck going to want to get back past Cam Wheels. Obviously he's going to get the position for the penalty anyway, as long as he can stick in the 3 seconds. But 4 retirements in this race so far, pretty much all of them through their own fault. Deck goes off, doesn't get the penalty. Didash looking round, goes a bit deep, bit too far back from the Ferrari. Acorn going to have a great run as Cam Rules has pushed him in the grass, and that gives Deck a penalty. So that could be potentially looked at as long as Deck provides his race directory. And Jocko now on the back as Cam Rules a big lock up in the 16. Can he make a move? Those hard tyres, he's going to wish he came into the pits. He was in a great position to pit. I'm not sure why he didn't. Obviously risk reward, didn't want to risk losing the track position, but his reward would have been significant. As Cam Rules goes a bit wide. Cam Rules is going to stick to the inside. Jack is going around the outside to the inside though. Can Cam Rules get a little switchback going? It looks like he can, as Didash has got ahead of Scottish Goat at the front, but we're going to stick on with this because that move's happened. Jocko not getting, well, he's going to try around the outside and back to the inside. Gamer James too far back to see this. Sticks to the inside, Jocko. Gives Cam Rules plenty of space, but they're getting locking wheels, don't want that to happen. Or we could see a repeat of the car on Deck. Not a lot of battling going on ahead, everyone pretty much at the DRS, as Jocko runs into the back, Cam Rules. This is our closest battle on track at the moment. Obviously Jocko getting the position anyway, but it's always better feeling when you do it on track. Has the DRS, car ahead, does not. Can he make a move on the final lap of this race? Goes round the outside, but will jump on board with Strongos as he crosses the line in first place, ahead for his penalty. Didash takes it on the road. I would imagine Strongos will get that 10-second penalty removed. Scottish Goat in a provisional P2, Chris Johnson P3. Deck got his top 5 finish. I would imagine if he didn't get an extra warning, he will get that penalty removed if Cam did in fact push him off. Jocko up into P5, considering he was on extremely worn tyres. It's pretty good going, and it's gone. Cam Rules 6th, I think it was 7th. He came 7th, and we'll get a rundown of the full order in 1 moment. So Didash takes the provisional victory at the Silverstone Grand Prix, with the Scottish Goat in 3rd on the podium in his Ferrari. Chris Johnson for Williams on the final podium position. I think there'll be a switch up in the order there. I would imagine Strongos will get that penalty removed for the incident with Jocko spinning under the safety car and he passed him before the line, but you know, Strongos can't do much about that incident. You know, that's complete driver error. Worn tyres for Jocko didn't do him any good, so we'll see. But provisionally, of course, we have Didash in the 1st. Started 1st, finished 1st. Scottish Goat in 2nd. Good result for him. Chris Johnson got his Williams up into the 3rd place. Strongos, imagine he'll get his victory, but finished 4th on the road. according to the game. 5th for Jacko, 6th for Acorn, Callum Rails 7th, Gamer James 8th, Jack Craig 9th, and ERT Jordan did retire, but he looks to be classified, so I'm not sure he'll get points. Bakar DNF, Fergus Pap DNF, and Kaya DNF after his adventurous move on Gamer James in turn 9. Yeah, that is the results. So I will try and work some magic and see if I can get a provisionally updated standings whilst we wait. But yeah, so I will be back when we start Austria. I've actually just reminded myself that of the top 5 quality rule that the drivers must start on the tyres they qualified quickest on. Not Cameron, sorry. Surongo's qualified quickest on the mediums, I'm pretty sure, and started on the softs. So it might be an added on drive-through penalty for Surongo. But I'm sure the stewards will do their bit and figure that one out. But we head into Austria, round 8 of the season so far for a one-shot qualifying, 25 laps? 25%, which I think is 18 laps, the same as Silverstone. Obviously a shorter, well, not shorter track, well, it is shorter, sorry, but quicker lap time, so obviously distances improve. But we had in the DVF1, season 7, the latest season, Casper was on pole and Kai won. It was a great battle. I had front row seats to the podium positions. It was a good race to watch. But yeah, some updated provisional standings. Jacko has gained his lead by 3 points on 95 to Dex 92. Dash will see himself up to 4th place with 73, and Bubakar in 3rd place still on 77. I would say all of these results are subject to change, so I wouldn't think about it too much. But as you can see on your screen, in the paddock, it's chucking it down. So if you live anywhere in Britain at the specific moment, you will see no change to outside to inside because it is garbage. But yeah, just waiting for the drivers to get ready, prepare themselves for an adventurous second race of the night for a one-shot quali. As the timer has started, someone's readied up, and that's good to know. As we take on some fluids. Hopefully a good race coming towards our direction. So we will ride on board with what was supposed to be winner, or might not be, but we'll see. It heads into turn 1. If we can get our data up. A lot of body going up the front, up to proper turn 3, as Strong was just currently in 2nd place. CRT Jordan was looking good for a moment. Still there in 3rd. The car looking good. Jake W looking good now that he's arrived in the session. But Sharongo's obviously looking quicker than the rest in the wet. I'm not sure if the race is wet, but we will see. As he has a little spin on the grass, that's going to compromise him. He's in the gravel. He is basically lost. We'll jump on board with Bakar, as he's at the front at the moment. As he heads around turn 7 into turn 8, still in the lead, as Jordan's gone ahead of him, but will hold on until the end of the lap. As he heads into 9. Got to keep it in the lines though, and he has beautifully. Round 10, heading for the line, a lot of battery left. One last bolt as Jordan takes pole position in the rain around the Red Bull Ring by a 1/10.5 to Bakar. Good speed from Bakar, really unlucky for Sharongo. But yeah, ERT Jordan taking pole position, great from him considering his last result. Bakar in second place. Jack Craig with a phenomenal qualifying, half a tenth off his teammate in third. Scottish Goat, the two Scotsmen sharing row 2. Jacko 5th, Acorn on row 3. Row 4 shared by Jake W and Gamer James, the Mercedes teammates. Kaya up in 9th place. Cam Rules in 10th. Fergus, Didash and Sarongo 11th, 12th and 13th. A quality session to forget for Sarongo. Really unlucky to go off there, but that's what happens when you're pushing. And we can't fault him for pushing. So, yeah, we will wait on the grid. Right, I've been asked if my mic's muted, so I'm going to check the stream. 1 moment. Nope. Our race host, or not host, but our race manager is talking garbage. So we'll keep going how we are. Yeah, it's a dry race, as you can see. 18 laps of the Red Bull Ring. ERT Jordan on pole, Bakar second behind him, and Jack Craig, the two Red Bulls, first and third. We will see what they can do. Can they get a double podium? Can ERT Jordan hold on to the victory for the Red Bull team, or can Bakar, or even can Sarongo, with his great pace, get a last to first victory? We will see when the lights go out and when the checkered flag is waved. As we are on the grid for the start of the Austria Grand Prix, it's 5 lights and they are out. It's ERT Jordan as Bakar looks like he gets a good start. Jack Craig is getting swamped by the cars behind as Scottish Goat's up, Jacko's up, and Jack Craig dropping down to 5th place. Not the start he would have wanted. ERT Jordan maintains 2nd place after losing the position to Bakar. Jacko getting a great start though, as Jack Craig looks to go around the outside, but Deck's down the inside of Jack Craig. So not the start Jack would have wanted, as he Jake looks like he's going for the move, but it's Jacko getting past Scottish Goat in the turn 4. Deck getting past Scottish Goat in the turn 4 as well. As Dark Shadow looks like he's had a spin at the back. Didash down in 12th. Not sure where did he start. Where he is now. The Scottish Goat on the hunt back for P4, back from Deck, but it doesn't look to be going as quick with Deck. Goes a bit deep, so that'll be a warning for the Austin, as Bakar maintains his lead at the front and gets out of the DRS to Jordan. But Jacko in the Haas, the other Haas, looking extremely quick. Jack Craig maintaining Jake at the moment, but can Jake with the DRS assistance and the battery go down the inside, and there's your strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Mediums to hards, lap 9 to 17. Soft, medium, medium if you're feeling a bit mental and fancy taking the long route, as Dadash has actually gained 3 positions on Calm Rules, Sorongos and Gamer James, as Sorongos looks to go down the inside of his teammate. A bit of contact, but nothing major, as he's actually on the hard tyre, the same as Dadash as well in front of him. We'll get the tyre up on the screen just now, so pretty much most of the grid opting for the mediums. A select few, Jordan, Dadash and Sorongos on the hards, potentially why Jordan had that unlucky as Fergus has absolutely twatted the wall, and Sorongos is him. Gamer James is in. I think he maybe thinks the safety car's coming out, or he's going to retire. And Sorongos is retired as well, actually. That was a pretty big accident, but I think Sorongos would have potentially been able to make it around to the pit lane, but yeah. We're not the stewards, so we won't make stewards' decisions. A night to forget for Sorongos, especially if his penalties apply after the British Grand Prix. But no safety car in the 25% race. The ERT Jordan is going to want... Oh, it is there a safety car? It's not come up on my... I don't think there is, yeah. It's not come up saying there's a safety car, but... or is it a VSE? Maybe that'll be why. That would explain things. Acorn in a great position after this restart, as long as he can... actually, Jocko looked to go down the inside of Jordan in the final corner there, after the VSC ended. But Acorn in a great position now. Is he going to go for the move? He has a look, but Jocko closes the door. Acorn's going to have if he held back for a moment, he would have had a good run on Jocko, but Jocko's got an excellent run on Jordan, obviously with the DRS assistance. Goes down the inside for turn 3. Easy work made of Jordan, obviously with the DRS assistance, but Jocko now not going to have the DRS, whereas Jordan does, but Deck does also, and he's going to go down the inside of Jordan in turn 4. A little bit of contact, but nothing too crazy. This Deck does get through up onto the final step of the podium. Scottish Goat looking really close as well to Jordan. Obviously Jordan on the hard tyres, not going to have the temps on the exits as the rest of his fellow drivers might. Jack Craig looking good on his mediums compared to Scottish Goat. Good, he's got a good battery level as well, he's not just absolutely destroying it. But Jack looking good. Scottish Goat could have a really good run here if he can get this exit right, which he does. He's going to have a great run on Jordan up into turn 3 as they have a little bit of contact, and Scottish Goat's off in the grass. Don't really think going down there was the best idea. Jordan's gone deep. Can Jack capitalise on his teammate's mistakes? Jordan not close enough to the back of the Scottish Goat to get the slipstream, but Jack, obviously a little team game going on there, doesn't overtake Jordan for the sake of the result. Doesn't want to hold his teammate up. Not to say that Jack's crap, but Jordan is a little bit quicker. Both on different strategies though. Maybe in a few laps time where they see where the pace is at, there might be a little switcheroo. The Scottish goes round! He's going round at turn 9! He's in the gravel on the pit lane and he's going to rejoin. That's really unlucky from Scottish Goat. He's been looking quick all race. Potentially on the ERS into turn 9. Done that before. Jack Craig having a good run. His teammates, he opts to go to the outside. And Jordan doesn't battle back too much. Jack was a bit deep. But I think Jordan knows with Jack on the better tyre, Jack's going to have a bit more pace. But no, Jordan's going back on his teammate. Goes down the inside of Jack and sends it a little bit too hard. And Jack's going to now go back ahead of Jordan. This is some rivalry in the Red Bull garage. I don't think the two sides of the garage will be speaking after this one. But so long as they keep it clean, no contact, and never mind, because Jack's in the beach. I don't think that was the optimal racing line, but Jack's going to have minging tyres now, and Scottish Gold's going to send it into turn 9 on Jack. And almost goes round again in front of Jack. That would not have been good for Scottish Gold. He's on the recovery now. Jack Craig on the recovery. As Jack Craig gets past Scottish Gold. But Jack obviously overtaken after the detection line, so Jack's going to have the DRS up to turn 3. Didash getting passed by Jordan. Obviously Didash started 12th this race, so he's up at 5th. So he's obviously got a good pace at the moment on his hard tyre. Hard v hard against Jordan. Jordan on the battery saving, that twinkly light on the back, recharging the battery as Gamer James gets passed by Calm Rules. Have a look at Scottish Goat, he's behind Jack Craig. Jack looking pretty squirrely through this section. Obviously he went off the last lap there. There's his gravel marks. Scottish Goat opting for the pit lane. Will it be hard? Will it be soft? Unsure. We'll get the tyre. Well, we won't. We don't want to give away the crack too much. But Jack Craig now in free air, doesn't have to defend, can just go as fast as he wants. Jordan looks like he's getting a nice switchback on the dash there in turn 3. Yeah, Jack Craig just going to have to put in some quality laps now if he doesn't want to get undercut by Scottish Goat. Jordan look like he's getting a bit of the dusty stuff there. As the dash sends it in turn 6, but doesn't make it stick. Jordan saw him coming. And nothing happens. There's Dark Shadow battling Scottish Goat, obviously not for position really, as Picard's in from the lead. He'll be pitting as that allows Jacko and Acorn through. Acorn potentially going to have a good run. Doesn't look too good in the initial phase of the straight. Obviously Jacko on the battery recharge. Deck's got the DRS. He's going to go down the inside. Who's later on the brakes? It looks like Deck. That's a good move on Jacko. And but Jacko's going to have that DRS. Oh, none of them have got the DRS. Has to cross the detection line at the exact same moment. But Jacko on the rear wing of this Aston Martin has a good exit, but not really going to go around the outside of turn 6. But he's going to look down the inside of 7. Has a look, but doesn't opt for the move. His Deck fakes him into a dummy pit. But Jacko's in. Jacko is in. As Jack Craig gets past Scottish Goat. I think Jack's pit, and we've not noticed. Yes. It's Jack Craig currently 17, almost 18 seconds behind the net race lead. As Jake comes in as well. But we'll jump back on board. It's well, not really a three-way battle. Or is it? It is actually. For P7. This guy goes a little bit deep in the final corner. Scottish Goat on Jack Craig though with the DRS. Bit too far back to make a move into turn 1, but we'll have it for the run up the hill to turn 3. 3.5 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Will he make a move? No. Yes. Jack Craig going a bit deep on the brakes, allowing Scottish Gold through. Obviously overtook after the detection line, so Scottish Gold's going to have that DRS, whereas Jack Craig will not. Kaya's still sticking in the DRS to Jack. Obviously they're squabbling. Whoa, and Jack's round. Bye. Thanks for playing. And he's hit the wall again. Jack Craig having a race to forget. That's 2 outings he's had now, but his teammate Jordan up into 3rd. Has he pit yet? No, the top 3 have not pit. The only 3 to not have pit this race so far. It's dropped out the DRS of the dash. Obviously the 3 at the front don't want to wait too long to pit, because Bakar and Jacko both have stopped and they are looking quick in this race, so they don't want to get undercut or overcut, sorry, because they stopped ahead of them by Bakar and Jacko. So Deck, Didash and Jordan are all in, so where is Bakar going to come out compared to these guys? I would imagine he'll be ahead of them all. The real question is, where's Jacko going to come out? Obviously, both Haas is opting for the hard tyre. So we'll see what tyres, as Jacko sets a new fastest lap of the race. And he gets passed, everyone's passed by both Haas cars. But Deck, Didash and Jordan all going to be on the quicker tyre compared to the 2 in front. Deck's actually gone for softs, which potentially could be a good move, considering there's only 6 laps to go. Well, 5 and his out lap on top of that. So there could be a spice up for the win if Acorn can get those tyres to the end, but also unlock the pace from them. Jordan dropped down to 5th after that, so he's now on, got Jake in the Mercedes for company. Red Bull versus Mercedes. A rivalry for the history books. Can Jake get close to Jordan? He's on the hards, Jordan on the mediums. So I don't think it'll be too difficult for Jordan to get a gap. But Jake is actually closing the gap. It opened for a bit there, then has now closed, but it has opened again. So obviously Jordan just getting that tyres back up to temperature, but Jacko is now 5.5 tenths back from the car, who is recharging. Obviously Jacko will be using his battery, but we'll have the DRS now and the assistance of the battery. The car with almost double the battery power of Jacko, as they both look a little bit slippy on the rear end going into turn 4. Can Deck capitalise on these 2 Haas cars potentially having a little squabble in the closing stages of the race? This is our closest battle on track, and it's for the win. So I think we'll just ride on with Deck unless something else happens, and see if we can get any action from the 2 in front, or if Deck can give us some action. Jacko getting ever so closer to his teammate, as Didash has actually set a fastest lap in the race, faster than Acorn, who's on the softs. So maybe the soft tyres overheating a little bit, but they're going a good run on Jacko. Is he going to look for the move? He does, he's gone for the move, a little bit of contact, but he is through, and he is going to have the DRS. So can Deck get 2 for 1 here in 2 corners? He makes his car very wide in the mirrors of that Haas. But Jacko's going to come back on Acorn. Is Jacko going to give up this victory to secure the win for the team? Or is he going to battle Acorn to get past, to battle Bakar, his teammate? Makes Deck very aware that he's in his mirrors. Deck looking in front and behind in a half sandwich. as he makes Bakar very aware that he's there. And he's going to have the DRS on the battery. Bakar's on the recharge. Deck doesn't make the obvious move. Tries to go for a switchback, I think, but it didn't quite work off. Bakar getting good traction now, turn 3. These three cars are less than 4 tenths behind each other. 3 tenths. As Deck's gone round the outside of Bakar at turn 4 to be on the inside of 6. As Deck's gone a little bit deeper, there's a bit of contact there. That could be some floor damage for Bakar. As Jocko looked to go down the inside of his teammate but opted out. If these two want any chance of securing a win for the team, they need to work together to catch Deck back up. Deck's very quick. I'm not sure who has the fastest lap. I think it's the Dash. Yeah, by 3 tenths. So, not that there's a fastest lap point for, well, the fastest lap. But a good thing to the start sheet. The car's going to look to go down the inside, but Deck wasn't letting him. But does get past around the outside. But I think Deck should have the DRS. Yes, he does. Because Bakar overtook before the detection line. Sorry. Deck moves to the inside, back to the outside. Jocko runs into the back of him. Could be a potential front wing damage if he's not too careful. But these Haas cars not giving up this victory for the team. Deck not giving up on his chances for the win for Aston Martin. And this is actually, all this squabbling's allowed the Dash to catch up. He's now in the DRS detection for Jocko. So if these three aren't careful, one of them's going to either not get the win or not get a podium. Deck moves to the inside to cover off Jocko, but Jocko's going around the outside and actually goes off the track. So that could be a warning. But all this squabbling between the two, Jocko and Acorn, a bit of banging wheels there. Acorn's going to go down the inside. We'll have the DRS, bang wheels. Pushes Jocko wide but gives him space. Has the DRS. All this battling is giving Bakar an advantage. So Jocko battling Deck for the sake of his teammate's victory. Obviously these two are our championship leaders in this moment, and Deck's actually dropped out the DRS. We've got a Red Bull round in front in the same place as Jack Craig went off, so I'm going to take an educated guess and say it's Jack. As Deck's got a penalty! That'll knock Deck off the podium as it stands. Yeah, Jack Craig. So Deck without penalties, he's currently in a net P4. Not what Deck's going to want for the last lap of the race now. Deck not as late on the brakes as Jocko, and he's done a little half spin. The Dash has gone off because of that. Jocko went off. So I think any one of these people, any one of these drivers could be potential to face a penalty. As Jocko looks like he's going to have the DRS here. But I think he knows as long as he doesn't get another penalty, another warning, he's going to have this position, but he does anyway. And Deck moves across the Dash. I don't think he saw him. And pushes him on the grass. Deck sticks through. And the Dash gets through on Deck in turn 4. So Deck will be really gutted with this penalty result. I think he's backed off maybe a little bit, but all this fine has given Bakar a 2.2 second lead, 2.3 as he comes round the final corner after 18 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. Bakar and Haas win the Austrian Grand Prix. It's a 1-2 with Jocko in P2. Dash is third place with Acorn in fourth. ERT Jordan brings it home in fifth. Not a race he'll want to remember considering he started first. Jake, he brings it home in fifth for Mercedes. Scottish Goat comes round the final corner in seventh. Eighth for Calm Rules. Dark Shadow brings it home in P9. Or, well, he's not yet. but he's almost there. Jack Craig got lapped. He's finished. He's 11th after multiple spins. Not a race he'll want to remember considering he started 3rd. Kaya almost bent it at the final corner. He's 9th. And Gamer James rounds it out in P10. Good race, good battle. Lots of banging wheels. Not sure, don't think any of it was steward room worthy. But yeah, as Bakar has now gained 5 points on his teammate in that race as that result. So if the results stand from last race, Bakar will now be on 102 points, with Jacko on 115. So only 13 points between them. Acorn would be on 116. So actually, if the results stand from the last race and my maths are correct, Deck is currently leading the championship. I don't think my maths are very right, but yeah. I'll do a final rundown in the order extremely quickly. First place, Bakar, Jacko in second for a Haas 1-2, Dadash third, Acorn with a penalty in fourth, Jordan fifth, Jake sixth, Scottish Goat seventh, eighth for Camrios, Dark Shadow at ninth, Gamer James 10th, Jack Craig 11th, Surangos a race to forget in 12th, and Fergus in 13th after a collision with the wall at the final corner on the opening laps. But yeah, unsure as to whether to what races is next week. If I can get the Formula app up, I will have a look. It's gone. Adverts. I will let you know. Good races, 2 good races tonight. Great speed from everyone, really. Shame not a full grid, but with some good racing considering it wasn't. We have Italy and Belgium next week, so I'm assuming that means Monza, and not Monza and Spa next week. I think I'll give my Driver of the Night award to Bakar. Great pace in the Austria. Looked pretty good throughout the Silverstone Grand Prix. So yeah, Bakar gets my vote. Good gained on his teammate. So yeah, good going from Bakar and good going from Haas. Their championship lead has incredibly extended. Yeah, that's it for tonight. That was round 7 and 8 of the season. Monza and Spa next week. So I think Jess will be back next week, so you don't have to deal with my crap. I've been Lewis Craig, and this is DBF2